Hi everyone, welcome to Zoomies. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that I think every pet owner has struggled at least once in their life, and that is my cat or my dog is vomiting. Why? What can I do? Is it an emergency? Someone help. So firstly, I think it's important that we discuss the difference between vomiting and regurgitation. Shortly put, vomiting is an active process by which the animal forcibly brings up food to the top, normally caused by nausea, whereas regurgitation is more of a passive process by which undigested food is normally brought up. I should note that not all causes of vomiting should be a cause for concern, because in my experience, one of the most common reasons of why especially dogs want to vomit is usually due to gluttony, especially young puppies, or dogs that kind of eat and then just go out to play and are a bit active shortly after eating. But that being said, let's talk about the various other causes. One of the other most common causes for vomiting is stress and anxiety, especially in dogs. When you're on your way to the park, they get super excited, or they realize that you're on the way to the vet, and in the car ride, they start vomiting.
Oh shit, here we go again.
One of the other common reasons for why dogs and cats vomit can also be dietary indiscretions. What's meant by dietary indiscretion? Anything that doesn't belong in their regular diet. And sometimes we even refer to this as garbage disease. And a lot of the times with these issues can actually lead to a foreign obstruction, or what we call foreign bodies, which usually ends up being an emergency and will require surgery to fix. Then you can also have infectious agents which can cause diarrhea, especially young puppies and kittens which can have parasites. And other older animals can also suffer from infections such as bacterial or viral. Bacterial kind of being more common, especially in older animals, and viral being a bigger issue in younger animals. Something that also sometimes is difficult to diagnose for a vet is ulcerations. Ulcers that form in the stomach due to chronic stress, and in my experience, even dogs that drink chlorinated pool water, cats that get thirsty, they like running water, they like moving water, go out to the pool, drink chlorinated water repeatedly over a period of time, they start vomiting. You can kind of see the ulcerations forming on their tongues. You can assume that they probably have gastric ulcerations as well, or they have acid-base disturbances in their gut systems, which leads to vomiting. Then, of course, you also get your various diseases that cause vomiting. This is especially in liver disease, that's quite common in dogs, but also kidney disease, that is extremely common in cats. And one of the first signs that you see in these diseases are patients that consistently vomit, have poor appetites, lose body condition, etc. And then another one we have to mention is any form of toxicosis or toxin ingestion. This could be from plants or human medicines that they've ingested, or anything that could be toxic to cats and dogs. The first sign that you will notice is vomiting. Look at the vomit and see if you can identify any of these toxins. Hairballs is another common reason for why cats like to vomit, but this is not really a concern, and normally you can fix this quite easily by either adjusting the diet or just implementing a good grooming routine for your cat. So what can you do as a pet parent at home? My advice would be that if your cat or dog has only vomited once or twice in the past day and there aren't any other signs of illness, I'd probably say it is a good idea to wait and see what happens. During that time, I would probably try and see in their immediate environment if I can try and identify what may have caused this nausea. Did they potentially ingest something that they shouldn't have? Or have you actually started noticing that vomiting is starting to become quite regular? If there isn't anything concerning to you, I think a good idea is to withhold food for 12 to 24 hours to allow the entire irritated, inflamed gut system to settle down before reintroducing bland, easy to digest food in smaller, frequent portions. A very common sign that could indicate maybe that there is underlying disease are other associated signs like weight loss, lethargy, inappetence, diarrhea. These are common signs that we tend to see alongside vomiting. But if you do notice that it is reoccurring and it's something that you've seen quite often, I think a visit to the vet would probably be in your best interest. What you could do is, when your animals vomit, is to try and identify any foreign material in the vomit. Maybe take a photo or a video. If you can't do those, maybe describe to your vet as accurately as possible what did the patient do when they were vomiting? How quickly or long after their eating or drinking habits were they vomiting? Are there any other signs of illness that could help in the diagnosis? And if you suspect that your animal did ingest any sort of poisonous or toxic material, it is regarded as an emergency. And if I were you, I would advise that you get to the vet as soon as possible so that they could potentially resolve the issue before signs of systemic illness would manifest. So what are the potential risks for a cat or dog that's vomiting? Well, the most common one would probably be dehydration, as it does cause the animal to lose a lot of water, and alongside the water lose a bunch of electrolytes. Another one is that with chronic vomiting, they can actually develop mouth ulcers, which could be very painful and difficult to resolve in certain patients, especially cats. Weakness might be another one. Animals that repeatedly vomit obviously go into that electrolyte imbalance, become dehydrated, and become really weak. But the biggest risk would probably be what's called aspiration pneumonia. And that's basically when animals vomit, some of the vomited material goes down the trachea into their lungs and actually causes respiratory distress, which I would say is also an emergency and needs medical attention as soon as possible. But that's it for today. That was just a quick discussion on all the causes for vomiting and what you can look out for as a pet owner. If there's anything else you want me to discuss, I will be doing more of these videos where I discuss clinical signs that we may see as veterinarians that I could give some advice to you on what you could do at home while looking after your pet and what to look out for. And that's it for today. If you like this video, leave me a thumbs up, drop a comment down below. I try to get all of them. If you enjoyed this type of content, maybe subscribe to my channel. There's more of this to come. And until later, cheers.